Continuing where I left off. Second, you let the enemy out. Oh, this here trap for nothing. Why did they want out? I don't know. But it's pretty plain they wanted it. Third, you wouldn't let us go at them upon the march. Oh, we see through you, John Silver. You want to play booty. That's what's wrong with you. And then fourth, there's this here boy. Is that all? Asked Silver quietly. Enough too, retorted George. We'll all swing and sun dry for your bungling. Well now, look here. I'll answer these 4 pints. One after another I'll answer 'em. I made a hash o' this cruise, did I? Well now, you all know what I wanted, and you all know, if that had been done, that we been around aboard the Hispaniola this night as ever was. Every man of us alive, and fit, and full of good plum duff, and the treasure in the hold of her, by thunder. Well, who crossed me? Who forced my hand, as was the lawful captain? Who tipped me the black spot the day we landed, and began this dance? Ah, it's a fine dance. I'm with you there, and looks mighty like a hornpipe in a rope's end at execution dock. By London town it does. But who done it? Why, it was Anderson, and Hans, and you, George Merry. And you're the last above board of that same meddling crew, and you have the Davy Jones insolence to up and stand for captain over me. You that sank the lot of us, by the powers. But this tops the stiffest yarn to nothing. Silver paused, and I could see by the faces of George and his late comrades that these words had not been said in vain. That's for number 1, cried the accused, wiping the sweat from his brow, for he had been talking with a vehemence that shook the house. Why, I give you my word, I'm sick to speak to you. You've neither sense nor memory, and I'll leave it to fancy where your mother's was that let you come to see. See, gentlemen or fortune, I reckon tailors is your trade. Go on, John, said Morgan. Speak up to the others. Ah, the others, returned John. They're a nice lot, ain't they? You say this cruise is bungled, ah? By gum, if you could understand how bad it's bungled, you would see. We're that near the gibbet that my neck's stiff with thinking on it. You've seen 'em, maybe, hanging in chains, birds about 'em, seamen pitting etting 'em out as they go down with the tide. Who's that? Says one. That? Why, that's John Silver. I know him well, says another, and you could hear the chains a jangle as you go about and reach for the other buoy. Now that's about where we are. Every mother's son of us, thanks to him, and Hans and Anderson and other ruination fools of you. And if you want to know about number 4 and that boy, why, shiver my timbers. Isn't he a hostage? Are we going to waste the hostage? No, not us. He might be our last chance, and I shouldn't wonder. Kill that boy. Not me, mates. And number 3. Ah, well, there's a deal to say, number 3. Maybe you don't count it nothing to have a real college doctor to see you every day. You, John, with your head broke, or you, George Merry, that had the ague shakes upon you not 6 hours agone, and has your eyes the colour of lemon peel to this same moment on the clock. And maybe, perhaps, you didn't know there was a consort coming either, but there is, and not so long till then. And we'll see who'll be glad to have a hostage when it comes to that. And as for number two, and why I made a bargain, well, you came crawling on your knees to me to make it. On your knees you came. You was that downhearted, and you have starved too if I hadn't. But that's a trifle. You look there, that's why. And he cast down upon the floor a paper that I instantly recognized. None other than the chart on yellow paper, with the 3 red crosses that I have found in the oilcloth at the bottom of the captain's chest. Why the doctor had given it to him was more than I could fancy. But if it were inexplicable to me, the appearance of the chart was incredible to the surviving mutineers. They leaped upon it like cats upon a mouse. It went from hand to hand, one tearing it from another, and by the oaths and the cries, and the childish laughter with which they accompanied their examination, you would have thought not only they were fingering the very gold, but were at sea with it, besides in safety. Yes, said one, that's Flint, sure enough. J.F. and a score below, with a clove hitch to it, so he done ever. Mighty pretty, said George, but how are we to get away with it, and us no ship? Silver suddenly sprang up, and supporting himself with a hand against the wall, Now I'll give you a warning, George, he cried. One more word of your sauce, and I'll call you down and fight you. How? Why, how do I know? You had ought to tell me that, you and the rest, that lost me my schooner with your interference. Burn you! But not you. You can't. You ain't got the invention of cockroach. But civil you can speak, and shall, George Mary, you may lay to that. That's fair enow, said the old man Morgan. Fair, I reckon so, said the sea cook. You lost the ship. I found the treasure. Who's the better man at that? And now I resign, by thunder. Elect whom you please to be your captain. Now I'm done with it. Silver, they cried. Barbecue forever. Barbecue for captain. So that's the tune, is it? Cried the cook. George, I reckon you'll have to wait another turn, friend. And lucky for you, as I am now not a revengeful man. But that was never my way. And now, shipmates, this black spot? 'Tain't much good now, is it? Dick's crossed his luck and spoiled his Bible, and that's about all. It'll do to kiss the book on still, won't it? Growled Dick, who was evidently uneasy at the curse he had brought upon himself. A Bible with a bit cut out, returned Silver derisively. Not it. It don't bind no more a ballot book. Don't it, though? Cried Dick with a sort of joy. Well, I reckon that's worth having, too. Here, Jim, here's a curiosity for you, said Silver, and he tossed me a paper. It was round, about the size of a crown piece. One side was blank, for it had been the last leaf. The other contained a verse or two of Revelation, these words among the rest, which struck sharply home upon my mind. Without are dogs and murderers. The printed side had been blackened with wood ash, which already began to come off and soil my fingers. On the blank side had been written with the same material the one word, deposed it. I have that curiosity besides me at this moment. But not a trace of writing now remains beyond a single scratch, such as a man might make with his thumb nail. That was the end of the night's business. Soon after, with a drink all round, we lay down to sleep, and the outside of Silver's vengeance was put to George Mary up for sentinel, and threatened him with death if he should prove unfaithful. It was long ere I could close an eye, and heaven knows I had matter long enough for thought in the man who I had slain that afternoon. in my own most perilous position, and above all, in the remarkable game that I saw Silver now engaged upon, keeping the mutineers together with one hand and grasping with the other after every means, possible and impossible, to make his peace and save his miserable life. He himself slept peacefully and snored aloud. Yet my heart was sore for him, wicked as he was, to think on the dark perils that environed and the shameful gibbet that awaited him. And I'm going to leave it off there. Thank you for watching this series. Give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, comment, and or just watch it and subscribe if you like. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.